Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to give you your February 2016 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for your patience and waiting for all of them to come out. I am still using the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week with an additional card as your overall theme and general feeling of the month, your crowning card. A special thank you to those of you who are keeping me so occupied with personal readings. It is an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for reaching out for those. And thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and your comments, both on the channel itself and through email, have been very positive and truly fascinating. Keep it up and keep them coming. Thank you so much for that. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information and detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And you can email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I am still offering a few different specials on love readings this month in honor of Valentine's Day, so there's still a couple of weeks left for those. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Aquarius. February 2016 mid-month. Aquarius, February 2016 mid-month. What does the remainder of February hold for the Aquarians, the water bearers? February 2016 mid-month. Okay. We begin with the Six of Swords, followed by the Ten of Cups, the High Priestess, followed by the Five of Cups, the Devil, followed by the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, followed by the Eight of Cups in reverse. And as your crowning card, the card that represents a general theme and overall feeling from the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. Let's take a look. Okay, so we begin with the Six of Swords. Now, swords, the element is that of air, and swords is a suit that points towards our thoughts, our ways of thinking, our perspective, our ideas, reasoning, logic. It's a very cerebral and mental suit. And the Six of Swords is a card about moving. Actually, there's for some of you, this is going to represent and resonate as travel. For others of you, it's just going to represent moving from a time of turbulence and perhaps contention and strife into more serene and peaceful waters. As you can see, this woman is sailing away in her boat by the light of the full moon. It is one of the leaving and moving away cards of the tarot deck, and it's one of the more somber, kind of silent sort of cards. Not in a negative way. It's just it still has an underlying theme of serenity and peace about it. It feels like Aquarius, whatever's been going on with you, you're beginning to move from a time that felt just kind of, I don't know if contention is the right word. I'm just picking up some turbulence, some conflict in your environment somehow. But it looks like you're moving away from that and through that. If for some of you, this is going to represent something that's already happened or is passing. But for the majority of you, I feel like it's something in progress right now. You're transitioning from a pretty challenging time and a time that feels kind of maybe unstable into a time of more stability and more peace and more serenity. There's a real underlying theme of healing in this as well. And for some of you, this is going to mean travel because the Six of Swords can signify travel. And it's accompanied by the Ten of Cups, which is an absolutely beautiful card, the Happy Home card, or I've heard some people refer to it as the Happily Ever After card. Cups, the element is that of water, and the suit of cups is all about our emotions, our emotional landscape and atmosphere, inner and outer. It points towards love, relationships, how we relate to the people around us, how we relate to ourselves, just our interpersonal relationships. And tens represent the ending of a cycle, the culmination of something, the wrapping up of something. The Ten of Cups it's a beautiful card. It speaks of well, it speaks of home harmony, number one. It speaks of reaching a place in your life, even if that's a physical destination, because I think combined with the Six of Swords, Aquarius, this signifies that some of you are going to be moving, are in the process of moving, or have just moved. And the reason that you made the decision to move was a very good one, that the move itself is going to represent more stability for your family, because there's a real sense of family harmony and integration in this card. And it represents being at a place in your life where you feel things have finally come together. All the pieces fit. You feel like you're home. You feel happy, whole, integrated. You can see on the artist who painted this picture that's depicted on this card did it as if this was what he or she was coming home to. You can see there's a lovely cottage in the background. Nothing ostentatious. We're not talking 20-room mansion here, but it's just homey. It feels comfortable. You just know that there's a dog by the fireplace and a fireplace inside, and maybe a cat in the window, and some flowers on the front porch. And it shows two women, maybe a mother and a daughter, just outside enjoying themselves, and it's a beautiful day. There's a rainbow of goblets here, all full, all upright, signifying that all your cups are full, that you're really happy, that you've just finally reached a place where everything seems very ideal in a way, just very whole, harmonious, integrated. It's a beautiful card to have. And this combination of cards, Aquarius, again, it's going to resonate differently depending on which Aquarians you're watching and what you have in your charts. But for some of you, this is going to represent an actual move to a new residence, a new home. And there's something about it, whether it's just you or whether it's you and your partner, or you have children and it's a family that's moving. It looks like you're moving to a place that's just almost like the ideal home for you, that it looks like it's just going to be a really wonderful place. For some of you, this is going to resonate as taking a trip to home or back to see your roots somehow. Perhaps you're taking a trip to, and the Six of Swords can represent going over water too, so it could be international travel. Perhaps you're traveling, or you're just traveling over the ocean, whether it's domestically or internationally, and you're traveling back home to see family, and it's just there's some kind of family event. Maybe it's a marriage or a reunion or anniversary, something like that. And it just it looks to be just a very good time. It just feels good. Feels good in the way that home feels good when you get home. And for some of you, this is going to represent something about your home situation, something about your family situation, having been through some kind of turbulence or strife, or I'm almost getting a sense that for some of you, I'm almost getting a sense that there's been a long illness or something, and you're coming out of it somehow. I think that's just only going to be for a handful of you, but I'm kind of feeling that you're just coming out of a long illness, so to speak. And for others of you, it's just going to represent moving from a place, whether that's an actual physical move or an emotional move in terms of difficult or challenging times you've been through. And you're moving into a place of more peace and more serenity and more healing. And it's really taking you to a place of harmony and integration with your home and your family somehow. Again, if this is a physical move, it looks like the reasons that you did this were because the place that you were in there was something about the place that you were in, the place that you were moving from, that wasn't good for you, that didn't feel whole or happy or healthy, and you're making this move both for yourself, and I'm just getting the impression that there's family involved as well too, and that it really represents a really good change. Again, and I feel like this has been coming out of some time of turbulence or difficulty, challenge. It almost feels like a heartache or an illness of some kind. So, but it looks like that is in the process of passing if it hasn't already, Aquarius. So next to that, we have the High Priestess, beautiful Major Arcana card, followed by the Five of Cups. So it looks like this move itself or something about it may be a little bit challenging or maybe a little emotional for you. We have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess speaks of the High Priestess is someone who is deeply spiritual, very intuitive. This is somebody who sees everything but doesn't necessarily speak everything that she sees or he. This talks about keeping the personality of the High Priestess would also be somebody who, in a way, keeps her feelings and her thoughts kind of deep inside of her. And she only speaks when she feels like there's something worth saying. But she's very observant and she's very intuitive. And this is somebody who's so connected with herself and so connected with her divine source, whatever that might be, that she has almost perfect faith and confidence in the path that she walks in every step that she takes because she's very intuitive. She's in tune with herself. She's at peace with herself. She's got that wholeness and integration, and she uh, she has faith in the path that she walks. She doesn't really suffer from self-doubt or anything like that. This speaks of being creative and trusting yourself, trusting your instinct, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, which we all possess. And the High Priestess is accompanied by the Five of Cups. Now, it looks like what I'm feeling is that the High Priestess is actually a very strong piece of advice. It's a major arcana card, and it's asking you to. It looks like Aquarius that somewhere in the last half of February 2016, maybe in the second week or the third week, which we're kind of going into or going to be going into. It looks like for a time you experience, and for some of you who have moved, this may be connected to where you're moving from, even though it looks to be a very positive move, whether it's an actual physical move or just in a more emotional moving away from something. It looks like you're still kind of stuck in what you're losing or what you feel you're losing or what you've lost, what you no longer have. The Five of Cups represents, in a way, it represents kind of crying over spilt milk. You can see that there's three goblets on the ground next to him, and they're all tipped over and spilled out. And there's two actually still remaining upright and full behind him. But he's not seeing those. He's not looking at them because his back's to them because he's focused only on these three that have spilled. This is a card that points towards whatever it is that you're moving away from and hoping to move towards or moving towards. It looks like, Aquarius, that you still have a bit of a struggle somewhere in the last half, maybe the third week of February. You're still having a bit of a struggle in letting go of what it is that you're moving from or away from. Um, and the advice of this card is to stop focusing on what no longer is, what you no longer have, what you've lost, or what you are losing, or what you feel you're losing or moving away from. That there's something still very beautiful that remains. There's options that still remain. There are blessings that still remain. All you have to do is take your attention off what you can no longer have or what no longer is present and take a look around at what still remains, because it looks like there's still some very beautiful blessings and opportunities and options here for you, Aquarius. And I think the High Priestess is a very strong echoing of that advice to trust in that, trust in your own intuition, trust in your divine connection. If you're really having a hard time, maybe perhaps seek out the counsel of a spiritual advisor, somebody whose spiritual connection you trust and respect and admire. But really to trust in yourself, to trust in this decision that you've made and the courage that it took, because it does take courage to move through and away from difficult or troubling times, even when we know that the move is good. And this can also just represent, again, if it's not resonating as an actual physical move, because everybody who's watching this is not going to be moving house. This can represent letting go of something as well. We do have 1, 2, 3 cup cards here, and for those of you, this may be moving away from a relationship that into something far more positive, into a sense of wholeness and integration. And it's always difficult to let go of a relationship, even if we know that it's the right path to choose. But the High Priestess is asking you to have faith in your intuition, have faith in your own instincts and what you know to be best and true and right and authentic for you. Now, following that, and again, let me look at this and see if I can I'm not really picking up much in terms of job, career, business, finance in this reading, Aquarius. So if none of this resonates for you, you may want to check your rising and your moon sign as well for some different clarification. So following the High Priestess and the Five of Cups, we have the Devil, another major arcana card, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. So the Devil card, sorry about the pause, Aquarius. I was just kind of processing some stuff that was coming in. So the Devil card is a card primarily about imbalance, but it can also speak to addictions, conventional addictions like drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, shopping, that sort of thing. It can speak to obsessive, unhealthy relationships, relationships that have too much power and control issues, too needy, too clingy, too much attention and focus, too much intent in one area, so the scales are out of balance, which is primarily what the Devil card is representing. It's representing an imbalance and a very significant, profound imbalance because this is a major arcana card. Um, and this card is attached to I mean, it's accompanied by the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, Pentacles, the element is that of earth, and Pentacles is a suit that typically points towards things in our earthly, tangible environment, things we can see and touch and feel, like finances, money, resources, assets, property, very earthly, tangible things. And the Ten of Pentacles is quite a beautiful card to have. It points towards abundance and prosperity and success, sort of in a down the road kind of way, in a step by step kind of way. For instance, if you were beginning a new job or starting a new project of some kind and you wanted to pull one card to see what the path of it would look like, and you pull the Ten of Pentacles, it's a great card to have because it speaks of the successful building up of a foundation of something that's going to lead to a fairly significant amount of prosperity and abundance and success, because that's what the Ten of Pentacles points to. But it's not a real immediate card. It speaks of the longevity and health of something. And it can also, there's a very strong theme about family in this too. Whatever this is, it has the potential and opportunity not only to benefit you, but to benefit your family in some way, or those closest around you, the people in your closest sphere and foundation. This can also represent a family business, family finance, something like that. Excuse me. And this combination of cards, Aquarius, it's an interesting combination to have because it can resonate a few really different ways. This can resonate as, I mean, for some of you for whom this might resonate as a family business of some kind, or, a family estate sort of thing. It looks like perhaps this moving away that you're doing, moving towards something that looks to be quite good, even though it looks like there's some fear and trepidation and sadness still about what you're moving away from. The High Priestess is asking you to trust in this move, to trust in this path that you're on, to have faith in your decisions and your own intuition, which puts you on this path. But it looks like you're still struggling a little bit. You're still hanging on to something. And it could be, for some of you, if this resonates maybe for a small portion of you, as a family business or a family estate of some kind that's been settled, or perhaps that you're moving away from or closing down or something. This can represent just maybe a little too much of an unhealthy focus on the monetary or financial aspect of that. And even though the move that you're on, the path that you're on, it looks like it's going to lead to, and it's leading to abundance and prosperity. And again, I'm getting healing, wholeness, integration, and there's a very strong theme of family about this somehow, family foundation. And it looks like it's really good, but that there's aspects of it that you struggle with. And because this would imply an unhealthy obsession or an unhealthy focus either on some kind of financial foundation for your family, a family business, a family estate somehow. Um, For those of you for whom this resonates as perhaps a relationship that you're moving away from, you still have too much focus, too much intensity, too much. There's a feeling of unhealthy compulsiveness about focusing still on what it could be, what you think it could be. It's really interesting because, I mean, this could resonate so many different ways, and I'm not getting what it is clearly one way or another. For some of you, this could be just too much of an unhealthy focus on money, on appearances, on, perhaps you're moving to a bigger house, or you're moving towards something that looks to, provide you or your family with the perfect lifestyle, and there's just too much focus on materialism or on finance or on the building of finance somehow, or the building of this family structure. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to resonate. You're going to have to give me some feedback on it if it does, because it feels like it's for like 3 or 4 different sets of Aquarians. So we'll just move on to the next set of cards. It looks like at or towards the end of the month, Aquarius, whatever this hump is that you go through, perhaps around the third week, beginning of the fourth week of February, it looks like whatever this difficulty you have in letting go and in actually severing this connection from between where you are now, where you're going, and where you've come from, looks like there's still a holding on. You know, we have this Five of Cups looking at what you no longer have. We have the Devil and the Ten of Pentacles, hanging on to something perhaps that you put a lot into, you invested a lot into, but you still have this unhealthy, too much focus and intensity on it. It's something that really needs to be let go of, and you need to, it looks like you began that path, you put yourself on that path. The High Priestess is asking you to trust in that, to trust your intuition, to trust this path that you're on. Looks like you maybe relapse a little bit, have a bit of a trouble, maybe, you know, second week, third week, beginning of the fourth week, but at the end, by or at the end of February 2016, Aquarius, it looks like you achieve success and stability, that you really begin to put roots down, because we have the Six of Wands accompanied by the Eight of Cups in reverse. So wands is the element of air and fire. And when you think about the elements of air and fire together, it's a very dynamic, very passionate, very fiery kind of combination. And that's what the suit of wands points towards: change, movement, action, power. It's a very action-oriented suit, very active, very dynamic. And the six of wands, excuse me, is the victory card. It's the victory card of the tarot deck. It shows a man who's riding back into town. And I say back because he has to come from somewhere. He went out to do something, to accomplish something. Maybe he went on a quest. He went off to do something. He was successful. He triumphed over something. He's riding back into town. He's dressed in his finest. His horse is dressed in its finest. There's banners waving. The crowds are cheering. They're clapping. They're giving him praise and accolades. He has been triumphant in whatever it is that he's gone off to do. He's come back successful, triumphant. He's achieved something. It's a victory card. It's a great card to have, and it speaks of whatever it is that you've been struggling to move away from, Aquarius, to cut the ties with, that you've been had so much focus on, whether it's a home situation, an area that you were living in that you're moving away from, an actual addiction. It could be a break with your family, an unhealthy relationship. However, this is going to resonate for you, because it's going to be different for different people. It looks like you have a breakthrough. Something happens around maybe the end of the third week of February, going into the fourth week of February. It all kind of feels like it comes together at the end of the month, and there's some breaking. The final last few links of the chain break, and you have achieved success at this. And this puts you in a place of stability and rootedness, and it represents the ending of a feeling of instability, of not being grounded and anchored in a place, because there's kind of a sense of all this movement shifting, all this unhealthy, you know, imbalance here and there, and just a sense of maybe moving around and around. Maybe for some of you, this is going to represent, you know, getting an actual home. Maybe for some of you for whom this may resonate as actual addiction problems, it could be, you know, just the breaking of that. There's something about breaking away unhealthy. You have a hard time with it. You begin the process. Maybe you relapse a little bit. You have a little bit of a backslide, a little bit of a difficult time there. But at the end, you achieve success. And it represents the end of all that, because we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So it represents staying. It represents this place that you're going to, this Ten of Cups place, this happy home, this happily ever after, this place where you feel like it's finally all come together. It was a difficult decision to make, this moving away from, you know, the Six of Swords, moving away towards this. There were still a few ties lingering, and you really had to deal with those. And this Eight of Cups in reverse is a great way to end the month. You've had victory over it. You've had victory. The Eight of Cups I look at it as one of the main leaving cards of the tarot. This man is done. He is definitively done. He's ready to move on. You can see there's 8 goblets on the ground behind them. Some of them are upright, some of them are tipped over. The implication being that he has tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups. And while they may have satisfied him for a time, distracted him for a time, in the end, they ultimately were not what he wanted. And he's made the decision that he's done with them. He's definitively done. He's moving on. He's dressed for travel. He has his hat on, his staff in his hand, and his back is to us. It's the card about moving on. it also can be a card about just not being satisfied, not really knowing what direction to go in, not feeling rooted, not feeling like you have much purpose in your life. And so in the reverse, it means the ending of that, the slowing down and the cessation of that, the sense of being fulfilled, the sense of finally finding your happiness, finally finding home, finally finding a place where you can put your roots down and your feet up and be there. And it's a beautiful way to end the month, Aquarius. It looks like it's victorious. You have victory over something. So again, as I've gone through the reading, Aquarius, um, for some of you, again, this is going to represent a physical move, and I actually am getting the feeling that for some of you, it's all of this stuff combined that perhaps some of you who are living an unhealthy lifestyle, and maybe that included an unhealthy relationship, and you really wanted to make the move away towards really to be true to yourself, to be true to what your ideal, your joy is, your happy home nest of it all. And it looks like the breaking away, the actual moving away, those cutting those last final ties, looks like it's been a real struggle, a real challenge for you. We have the Devil card, which speaks of a very unhealthy attachment to something, significant imbalance, and very difficult, very challenging to fight. Perhaps it could be something that you've been in for a long time. You put a lot of effort into it, and it makes it harder to move away from. You spend a little bit of time kind of focusing on what you no longer have or what you're moving away from instead of the future, which looks very beautiful. But at the end of the month, we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups reversed. You're victorious. You're moving into a victorious future. You're manifesting your destiny. The work that you've done has paid off, and it feels like you're going to come to a place where you don't feel like flitting around from place to place anymore. It's like you come home, whether that's an actual physical moving or an emotional one, or a combination of the two. And again, for some of you, this is going to be an individual journey, but I do feel this strong sort of family connection to this very strongly. And your crowning card is the Four of Wands, the card that represents the general theme and overall feeling of whatever the situation is. And this card speaks of of blessings, but kind of bigger blessings than you anticipate, and things working out to be better than you thought. And again, there's kind of a family and home sense to this too. You can see that in the circle of these wands under this beautiful wreath of flowers. There's a man and a woman and a child, which strongly points to, again, family, something about your foundation, family harmony, family wholeness, and integration. And the Four of Wands is a card that speaks of something that already appears to be good, or something that you're already looking forward to, actually working out in a way that's better than you anticipated, in unexpected, like unexpected blessings kind of way, bigger, better, expansion kind of thing. And this is the crowning card over this whole situation, and it's really quite beautiful. Whatever this is, it looks like it's going to be, at least for the larger portion of you, Aquarius, in February 2016. It looks like it's not just you, but also your family, whatever that family consists of, whether it's children, extended family, maybe a group of friends that are so close, it feels like that you're actually family. The people closest to you, it feels like you're just moving from difficult, challenging times. You get kind of stuck there in the middle, but at the end, it's just beautiful, and it actually ends up working out better than you anticipated in ways you actually didn't see coming. Very positive. So Aquarius, I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. I hope that it has resonated for you, at least somewhat. And if it does, please let me know, because there's some parts of it that still aren't entirely clear to me. So feel free, as a lot of you do, to comment or email me. If you're so inclined to do, please do. And for any of you who are interested in personal readings, again, you can click on the About button on my channel's homepage, or email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you again in March 2016. And as I always say, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks for watching, Aquarius, and I'll see you later.